The other candidate running for the state representative in the 37th Middlesex District is Kurt Hayes, who's the Republican candidate.
I got it off for a minute. Welcome.
I want to thank everyone for coming out. It's great to have the opportunity to be here with you today. I see a lot of familiar faces in the crowd, and that could be, again, my name is Kurt Hayes, that you met me last year when my first foray into politics as a candidate in the 5th congressional race as an independent candidate. Or perhaps this summer, as I've been knocking on literally thousands of doors here in Acton to talk to the voters, including seniors, about the things that are most important to them. Now, for those I have not yet met, again, Kurt Hayes, and I'm a husband, a father of 3 young children who attend the public schools in Boxborough and Acton. We live in Boxborough. And I am also a businessman with a long and ongoing career of nearly 20 years in the private sector in my position at IBM. And I'm running for state representative because I firmly believe, and it's being backed up by the people I'm talking to out on their doorsteps in the district, Beacon Hill is broken. And I bring the relevant experience from 20 years in the private sector, working with difficult customers, our sales teams, all the vast array of people within an organization such as IBM, over 400,000 people, as a facilitator, to bring those people together, to come to a consensus when we don't always agree on the positions we come to the table with, but to come to a common goal, which is to make that customer better able to serve their own customers. And I believe I can take that relevant experience, again, from the real world up to Beacon Hill to begin driving change that makes sense for our seniors, for our towns, and for our cities, and for the future of Massachusetts. So on this premise that Beacon Hill is broken, we have a lot of evidence of that. All we have to do is look at the newspaper and the news stories every day. Unfortunately, we've got cases of fraud and corruption, deals being done behind closed doors, countless examples of waste and inefficiency. Take your pick, from police details to high schools that are being built instead of using standard plans off the shelf where they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars, and on and on. So the premise is that if Beacon Hill is broken, what can we do to cause change? Do you continue to elect the same types of leaders and send another soldier up to Sal DeMacy in Beacon Hill, or the governor? Or do you elect a new type of leader who is going to take their experience from the real world of business and not always look at how do we balance a budget that was knowingly passed being $1 billion out of balance? Do we go look for new sources of revenue, which is going to mean new taxes on ourselves, on businesses, and we continue this downward spiral that Massachusetts is in, where increasing taxes drive businesses out of the state. People vote with their feet. Seniors I've talked to are encountering this as well with their own property taxes. I've lived here forever. I have a black eagle above my garage door because I paid off my house 20 years ago. Yet because of my property taxes, I literally have to look at leaving this state, which is the very sad situation. So in terms of specific things, we all agree property tax relief is a key. I've done something very specific to back this up. There's $450 million sitting in the state's rainy day fund that's been diverted away from our towns over the last several years. And I have got a ballot question on the November 4th ballot where you will be able to tell your elected representatives whether you would like them to go up to the State House and fight to return that $450 million to the towns. Here in the 37th Middlesex District, we're talking about over $3.6 million that should be back in the towns. Acton, it's over $820,000. So that one-time property tax relief could be a huge benefit to the seniors and the other folks in the towns. That isn't going to fix the problem. We also need to uncap the lottery funds so that all that money returns. And then we need to take a top-to-bottom approach in the state government. How can we do things more efficiently? Again, we all see the examples, and we can't always go after new sources of revenue. We've got to have new types of leaders who can go in there and build a consensus. There are Democrats in there that would like to be more fiscally conservative. I won't just say responsible, because fiscal responsibility, you can say if I raise my taxes high enough to cover my costs, we're okay. But we all know, especially your generation in this room, fiscal conservativeness is about living within your means like we all do every day. As Stephen mentioned, we have to pay our mortgage. We might have to trim back expenses. We do the same thing in the business world. We always search for a better way to do something. Because if we don't do it better and smarter while still serving our customers, they're going to be happy to go somewhere else, take their business somewhere else. And that, sadly, is what the businesses and the people living in Massachusetts have been doing lately. They're not being served well as customers by Massachusetts, so they're voting with their feet, and they're leaving the state. So I'm sure my 5 minutes is just about, we could talk a lot about the issues and such. One last thing I'll touch on is heating oil. Heating oil assistance is something we need to protect for the seniors. But to give you an idea where I am as a candidate on this issue and some others, we can't just have Governor Patrick go down to the federal government and ask for another $1 billion of heating oil assistance. While he's down there, why doesn't he lobby them to begin additional domestic energy exploration? We have the means to create an additional energy supply for the short term. That is a short-term solution, but we're all looking at the short-term energy bills this winter. We saw that when the government started just talking about the fact that they might drill for more oil here domestically, energy prices immediately dropped. We're back down well below $4 a barrel. And a lot of that is because the world thought America might wake up and go tap its own energy resources. So we need to do things like that. Don't just ask for heating oil assistance. How can we drive the price down that will benefit everyone, including our towns? They're being hit with the oil prices as they try to fuel their fleets and so forth. So we need short-term solutions, the medium focus on renewable energies, and the long-term solutions as well. So I appreciate you coming out today. I appreciate the opportunity to earn your vote in November. I look forward to hopefully earning the honor to go up to Beacon Hill, representing your interest, and begin to drive change that makes sense. Thank you very much.